Hey everybody. Sorry it took me a second to get online. Not sure what that was. Facebook Live has been fun lately. But let's waste no more time and get started here. And why don't we get started in a child's pose? So, heading over to your mat, knees wide on the mat, forehead down on the mat, arms stretched out in front of you, and relax. Our toes are together to touch, knees wide, relaxing down, starting to focus on the breath a little bit as we think about reaching forward in this child's pose on an inhale and exhaling as we take our hips down towards our heels, sort of pulling, planting our hands, our palms into the mat, and as we exhale, we really pull and feel that stretch up the back. So inhale and walk those fingertips forward. Exhale, pulling back, taking those hips further and further down towards the heels. Keeping your forehead on the mat. Inhale, reach and walk those fingertips forward. Exhale, plant those hands and pull, feeling that stretch in the arms and the back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sinking those hips lower. Now with our forehead on the mat, let's just rock our head side to side, massaging up that third eye center. Now let's take our hands, palms of our hands together, and bringing the thumbs to the nape of the neck. Taking a breath in, and breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Breath out. Bringing our hands down to the mat. Let's walk our hands up a little bit. And coming onto our knees. And let's walk our hands out, and then we're going to pop our toes and just sort of send our knees up a couple of inches, just hovering our knees, feeling that stretch in the feet. And now bring your knees down. Walk those hands out, forehead down to the mat, feel that stretch. And then let's walk it back up a little bit, hovering those knees, feeling that stretch in the Achilles even, right here. And walk it back. Taking that child's pose. One more. Hover those knees. And then bring it back down to that child's pose. Forehead on the mat as you take a breath in through your nose and a breath out through your nose. Breath in. Breath out. On your inhale, rising up to this tabletop, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. A round of cat-cows, inhaling, eyes and tailbone to the sky, hammock in the belly. Exhale, belly button into spine as you arch your back. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Taking as long as you want in these poses, moving one breath, one movement. Inhale, eyes and tailbone to the sky. Exhale, rounding the back, belly button into spine. And now let's bring it back to a flat back. We're going to send our right leg behind us. Tapping that toe on the ground. We can lift it up if we'd like. Left arm out. Reaching with our left arm. Reaching with our right foot. Keeping this right hip pointed down towards the ground, feeling that crunch of the hip and the lowest rib together. and bring it down. Let's send that left leg out, maybe lift that leg, right arm out, reaching in both directions, keeping this left hip roll down towards the mat, that crunch with the lowest rib and the hip point, making that happen. Exhale down. Let's send this right leg out, and then we're going to bring it around behind us and tap it over to the left, and then bring it all the way around and tap over to the right, and then back to center and down. Same with the left leg. We're going to bring it all the way over to the right, all the way over to the left, and bring it down. Let's reach that right foot out, all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Now let's bring this right knee to our right elbow, tapping that bicep even, and then send that right leg back out and down. Left heel rises, all the way to the right, all the way to the left. Left knee to that left bicep, and then send that out and bring it down. One more. Right heel rises, all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Tap that bicep with your knee. And now let's extend that right leg, bend the right knee. Maybe we can reach back with our left hand, get that little early back bend, and bring it down. Left heel rises, all the way to the right, all the way to the left. Tap that bicep, send that left leg back, bend the knee, reach around with the right hand this time, perhaps taking that cattail, and then releasing down back to our tabletop position. One more round of cat-cows. Inhale, eyes and tailbone to the sky. Exhale, belly button into spine as we arch our back. Coming back to our neutral spine, tucking the toes, hovering the knees just a little bit, and then pushing back to that downward facing dog. Feet are hips distance, just about 2 fist distance. If you're working on eventually maybe getting the heels down to the mat, but it's not super necessary. But work those heels down to the mat so that you feel that stretch up the backs of your legs. If they never meet the mat, that's no big deal. If they do, then maybe it's time to add a little bit more distance to see if you can get your heels down to the mat the further and further you are. Inhaling, exhale, big breath in, breath out, fill up, empty. Let's tiptoe like we're on a tightrope. The feet to our hands, meeting in this forward fold, ragdoll, grabbing opposite hand to opposite elbow, releasing this neck, swaying side to side, releasing these fingertips to the ground. Inhale to a flat back, exhale, fold. Inhale to a flat back, exhale, fold. And now inhale, rising all the way up, extended mountain pose, reaching those arms up overhead. Exhaling these hands to your sacrum. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, pushing those hips forward, taking that back bend, looking back, going back. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, folding forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Let's step back to our high plank, modifying to our knees as we need to or as we'd like to this morning. And then let's roll forward a little bit. Push with your heels, or with your feet, roll forward a little bit and back. Inhale and exhale. Just kind of feeling a calf stretch here in this plank. And now lowering all the way down to your bellies. Hands under shoulders. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale down. Let's push back to our child's pose, knees wide. Sending our hips down to our heels when we take a breath. In through our nose, out through our nose. Reaching those fingertips forward, pressing those hips back. Inhaling up to our tabletop position. Wrists on your shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to take a twist. We're going to thread the needle, sending that right arm up to the sky, gazing up at that right hand, threading the needle, coming down on right shoulder, right ear. Enjoying this twist right here. Working on inhaling and lengthening the spine, and exhaling, maybe pushing with this left hand to really twist deeper and deeper. If you want to add a little bit, you can reach this left arm out in front of you. And you can think about the left arm reaching on that inhale, maybe walking those fingertips forward as you inhale. And then exhale, this right hand reaches further over the side wall, twisting deeper. Maybe you want to extend this left leg. Maybe you want to lift it. Maybe you want to work on even extra balance, lifting that right leg. Wherever you are, the most important thing here is really the twist. So inhaling and lengthening and exhaling, rinsing out and twisting deeper. Using that Ujjayi breath in and out through your nose here to get deeper into your twist. One more deep breath in. Exhale, twist. Let's lift up, sending that right arm to the sky, taking that counter twist, and then bringing the right hand back down to the earth, and we're going to switch sides. The left arm rises, gazing up at that left arm, threading the needle, coming down, left shoulder, left ear. Taking your options here to make sure that you get the most out of this pose that you want to get. We can hang out right here and feel this amazing twist as we inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Maybe you're reaching that right arm out in front of you. Maybe that right leg. Maybe we're lifting that right leg. Maybe we're lifting the toes up off the left leg. Whatever feels good. Just making sure that you are twisting with each breath, getting deeper and deeper in this twist. And now let's release, sending the left arm up, gazing up at that top thumb before we bring that hand down to the mat, back into our tabletop. One more cat-cow. Inhale, eyes and tailbone to the sky. Exhale, arching the back, keeping that arched back. Let's take our knees wide and sink our hips low, coming into this child's pose, reaching those fingertips forward. Inhale, walk those fingertips forward. Exhale, hips to heels. Taking a couple of breaths here, remembering child's pose is always an option for you throughout the practice if you feel like you need to take a break or take a rest. Or if you just feel child's pose calling you, come to it anytime. One more breath in through the nose, breath out, planting your hands, forearms lifting off the mat, and let's press back to our downward facing dog, sending our heels, our hips up to the sky. Our heels, let's lift as we inhale. Exhale, those heels track down towards the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift those heels. Exhale, down. And now let's tightrope walk again up to our feet. We're in that forward fold. This time we can take our ragdoll again if you like that. Or I invite you to clasp your hands and bring them to the nape of your neck and release this way, feeling that extra pull on the neck down towards the mat. Releasing and breathing. And now we're going to release those fingertips. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. One more inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale as you slowly rise one vertebra at a time. Rolling up to your extended mountain pose, arms up overhead, cactusing the arms, looking back, going back, taking this back bend, pushing those hips forward, gazing back. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Stepping back, high plank perhaps. The exhale, lower down to chaturanga, keeping those elbows in tight. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Taking a breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. In through the nose, out through the nose. Walking, stepping, or jumping. Keep your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Rising up, extended mountain pose, reaching up, looking up. Cactusing those arms, taking that back bend. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, fold forward, reach for your toes. Halfway lift, inhale. Stepping back, jumping back, moving through your vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Inhaling as you rise, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward facing dog, and we take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, exhale, big breath in, release. Walk, step, or jump, feet to your hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Rising up, extended mountain pose, reaching up. The sacrum hands to our sacrum again. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, look back, go back, hips forward. Exhale, fold forward. Reaching for your toes. Halfway lift, inhale. Stepping back, jumping back, moving through your vinyasa. However you'd like to get to downward facing dog. Your choice, your practice. Just use your breath to get there. And once we're in our downward facing dog, we take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, exhale, filling up, empty. Walk, step, or jump, feet to our hands. Halfway lift, fold, rise up. Reaching up, extended mountain pose. Let's take those jellyfish arms as we roll our shoulders back and look back, go back. Exhale, folding forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back, jump back, move through your vinyasa, lowering down on your exhale. Inhaling, rise. Downward facing dog. And we take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Big breath in. Breath out. Let's lift our right heel to the sky. Just straight up, not opening our hip just yet. Bending the knee. Taking ankle circles. And now let's open up the hip. And take those hip circles. One way and then the other. And now let's bring that right foot down. Left heel rises, that heel straight up to the sky. Bend the knee. Let's take those ankle circles. And now let's open up the hip, taking those hip circles. And let's bring that left foot down to meet the right. Breath in. Let's take our right foot up to the sky. We're going to kick it forward for a lunge, but we are going to come down low on this knee, on our left knee. We're going to come into our lizard pose, so perhaps you may want to block or two. You can always kind of place these blocks on the opposite side of your foot and hold here. This is a great stretch. If you want to work on getting down onto your forearms. You can use the block to rest your forearms on the block. And then eventually we will get our forearms down to the mat. Try to keep your right knee and your right shoulder hugged in together in this pose. Lowering down to the forearms, opening up the hip, melting into this, and breathing. Inhaling in through the nose and out through the nose. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Let's rise up, planting our left hand, sending our right arm up to the sky, taking this twist, gazing up at that right thumb. Option here for that cattail, grabbing hold of that right foot, gazing back, releasing that right foot. We're going to bring our right hand on the outside of our right foot, setting up for our half splits. If full splits is in your practice, go for it. If it's not, but you're working on it and you want to use a block, you can absolutely use a block underneath your hips to work on getting into that full splits. I'm going to flow through some half splits here. So I'm going to exhale back, keeping my foot planted, just feeling that stretch up the thigh, or up the hamstring, and inhale forward. Now this time as I go back, I'm going to pop my toes, and then chest forward. And then you could choose whichever one you liked best. Doesn't really matter. Just however gets the most stretch for you. Just play with it. And inhale forward. And then back. And now inhale, arms up. Exhale, we'll take that chest to thigh, sending those arms up. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, lift. And now we're going to plant those hands, pop that left toe, stepping back to our downward facing dog. Bringing our left foot forward this time, sinking into our lunge. Setting up for our lizard on this side. Taking your option here, using a block, coming in to anything that is comfortable for you, working on getting your forearms down to the mat, hugging that left knee, left shoulder in as much as you can, melting into this hip opener as we breathe in, breathe out, inhale, exhale, filling up, empty. Let's walk our hands up, planting our right hand this time, lifting that left arm to the sky, taking that twist. Maybe we're popping those right toes, reaching back and grabbing a hold of that right foot, gazing over the left shoulder. And releasing, bringing that left hand on the outside of the left foot, setting up for our half splits or full splits here. So we're going to exhale back, keep that foot planted, inhale forward, exhale back, popping the toes, inhale forward, exhale back, yogi's choice with those toes, inhale forward, let's take one more. Now inhaling as we rise up, arms up overhead, exhale chest to thigh, inhale rise, exhale chest to thigh, inhale rise, exhale taking that chest to thigh, inhale and lifting, and now we'll take our hands to the mat, popping that right toe, sending this left leg back, downward facing dog, where we take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, exhale, filling up, empty, walk, step, or jump. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Rising up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Let's plant our hands. We're going to step back, jump back, move through our vinyasa, using your breath to move you. However you'd like to get to downward facing dog is correct for you today. Back to that downward facing dog. Our right heel rises. We're going to bring it forward, bringing that right knee to our right elbow, holding here, extending it out. Right knee to nose, and extend. Right knee to left elbow, and extend. And now bring this right foot down, setting up for our crescent lunge. Arms up overhead. Hands coming to heart center. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, taking our left elbow to our right knee. Exhaling as we do so, taking that twist. Working on bringing our hands back to heart center. Option always to be down on this left knee. Using the breath as you inhale. Exhale, twisting open. Gazing over that right shoulder. Peeling this right shoulder away. Breathing. Inhaling. Exhaling to rinse out. Inhale. Exhale, detoxing those internal organs. Breath in. Open up to warrior two. From our warrior two, taking this right arm up, gazing up with that right thumb, taking the right elbow to right knee for our extended side angle. Sending that left arm out overhead, shooting that towards the front side of the mat. Hanging out here, working on keeping this chest open, not collapsing, not locking the joints. If you're working on a half bind, take that now. Full bind, perhaps. If you're ready or feeling it, bird of paradise is always an option for you. Popping up. Rising. Ooh, hi. And extending that leg out. Birdies come on down, meeting in our extended side angle. Opening up to warrior two. Reversing that warrior. Cartwheeling your hands to the mat. Moving through your vinyasa, meeting in downward facing dog. Exhaling all the way down. Inhaling to rise. Exhaling back. Downward facing dog. From here, our left heel rises. We're going to bring it left knee to our left elbow. Hugging that in. Extend. Knee to nose. Extend. Knee to right elbow. Extend. Bringing that left foot forward. Crescent lunge. Rising up. Hands coming to heart center. Option always to be down on this knee. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Take your twist. Feeling this left shoulder open on those exhales. Inhaling to lengthen your spine, straightening, lengthening. Crown of your head moving towards the short side of the mat. Exhaling, that shoulder is opening, working those hands back to heart center. Taking this time to detox, really feeling the breath move through you. To inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, rinse it out. And now let's open to our warrior two. Reverse our warrior. Send that arm up to the sky, that left hand gazing up at that left arm. Left elbow, left knee. Extended side angle, reaching that right hand above us, working on that 90-degree bend in that left knee, reaching, taking your option here. Staying here in this beautiful extended side angle. Maybe you're working on that half bind. Maybe you're getting closer and working on that full bind. And maybe Bird of Paradise is in your practice today. And birdies bring it down. Reaching, meeting in that extended side angle. Back to our warrior two. Reverse that warrior. Cartwheel those hands to the mat. Moving through your vinyasa. Lowering down on your exhale. Keeping those elbows into your sides if you're coming through chaturanga. Inhaling to rise, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog on the exhale, belly button into spine. As you push back to your downward facing dog. And we take a breath in. And a breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Big breath in. Release. We're going to walk our feet to our hands, but walk your feet to the outside of your hands, setting up for your Malasana Yogi Squat. Your heels are in, your toes are out, probably the width of the short side of your mat, sinking your hips low, hands into heart center, pushing those knees open, inhaling, exhaling. If crow is in your practice and you want to go on ahead and start working on that, absolutely get into your crow now. We will flow through a little bit of just a twist, and then I can workshop crow a little bit. Placing this left hand on the mat, arm up as you inhale, reach up. Maybe you can reach back for that half bind, looking over the shoulder, returning back. Right hand to the mat, inhaling as you rise, exhaling, taking that arm, that half bind, gazing over that left shoulder. Flowing through those for a few. If crow is something that you're interested in, from our yogi squat, we're in a good position to plant our hands on the mat. We're bringing our elbows way up into our armpits. And then we are leaning forward. And if we're just working on this, we'll practice lifting one leg and then the other, and then eventually you can lift both, coming into your crow, holding for several breaths. And if you're working on, I'm hanging myself in this room, if you're in your crow, the next thing to work on is your jump back to chaturanga. Coming into your crow, and then sitting your feet back, chaturanga. Going through your vinyasa, and then everybody leaning back in our Malasana Yogi Squat. Hands into heart center. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Planting our hands, lifting our hips up to the sky, toe heeling our feet together. Let's take our peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes, pulling your elbows towards your shins, really feeling that stretch up the backs of the legs as you pull your head down. Forward fold. Now let's slowly rise. Let's place our hands on our shins, inhaling to that flat back. Exhale, fold. Rising up, extended mountain pose, arms up overhead. Hands coming to heart center, Tadasana. Excellent. Setting up for our balance series for the morning. Starting with eagle. Let's send our arms up to the sky. Extended mountain pose, reaching up, right arm under, grounding into this left leg, our right leg over, working on getting this toe wrapped around the calf. Sinking into that standing leg. Genie arms or butterfly hug options if it's not working for you in the shoulders, those eagle arms. Focusing on a point in front of you that isn't moving. Focusing in on that drishti. and holding here and breathing. And release, arms up overhead. Left arm under, left leg over. Sinking into that standing leg. Focusing on that point in front of you. Taking the arms that are comfortable with you for you today. One day, someday goals, getting that toe wrapped. If that's not happening today, you can always use this toe to kickstand. Whatever needs to happen so that you can let go of judgment and relax into this pose. And release. Excellent. Focusing on our standing leg raise now. Rounding in to this left foot. Our right knee rises, grabbing a hold of our right knee with our right hand. Hanging out right here if we're just working on building balance, stability, endurance in these stability poses. Belly button into spine, tucking our tailbone. If you want extra, we can open up the hip to the right, maybe taking that left hand off the hip, gazing over to the left. If you want even more, we can reach down with those peace fingers, grabbing a hold of that big toe, extending that right leg out, opening up to the right, gazing over to the left. Whatever option you choose, use it and go for it. And see where you can go today. See what's possible. Let's bring it back and down. Excellent. Grounding through the right leg now. Spinning our left knee up, grabbing a hold of our left knee with our left hand. Inhaling, lifting and lengthening, belly button into spine, tailbone tucks, that core lock tight. Taking your option for the morning, hanging out right here, building that strength, stamina, stability, balance. Opening up if you want a little hip opener to add on to this. And if you want all of that and then some, reaching down, grabbing a hold of that toe, opening up. Gazing over to the right. Being mindful that one side might be a little easier than the other. Always working back towards symmetry every time we come back to the mat. And release down. Beautiful. Let's take our tree pose. Grounding into this left leg. Choosing your tree. Several options here. Placing this heel on the ankle, opening up the hip. I feel this opening in the hip, and I also feel a little toggle as I work on balance. If you want a little more, we bring it to the calf. Even more, we bring it up to the thigh. And if you want even more, you can always take a block, place it down, standing on that block and working on balance that way. Just adds a little extra toggle there. I'm just going to bring it down here. Choose your tree for the day. Make sure we're grounding in, build this pose from the ground up. We're grounding through the foot, the four corners of the foot, so that we're not rolling over to the left here. We're rolling that foot over, really pressing the ball mount of the left foot down. Belly button in, tailbone tucked, shoulder blades back and down, shoulder blades in the spine, super proud chest, starting with hands in the heart center. Pressing hand to hand can also help with stability, and then when you're ready, taking your arms somewhere new. Working on any arm variation that feels good to you today. Maybe taking a reverse prayer hand. Focusing on a point in front of you that isn't moving. Focusing on your breath. In and out. through your lungs, in and out through your nose, belly button in. And let's release down. Nice. Shaking that leg out. Grounding through the right leg this time. Choosing your option for your tree. Kickstanding, calf, thigh. Trying that block trick if you would like. Hands into heart center to start. Belly button into spine, tailbone tucks. Grounding through the feet, the four corners of the feet. And then as you're ready, taking your hands somewhere new. If we've got our arms overhead, maybe we could practice a little bit more balance, leaning over to the right, back to center, over to the left, back to center. Maybe adding a little extra balance challenge, closing your eyes. And releasing down. Excellent. Arms up overhead, look up. Let's take a back bend, cactus those arms, look back, go back, sending hips forward. Exhale, folding forward, reaching for those toes. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back, jump back, move through your vinyasa, meeting in your downward facing dog. Pushing back to downward facing dog on your exhale. Inhale, heels rise. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, heels rise. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, heels down. Let's take a big breath. Let's send our left foot up to the sky. And we're going to bring it forward. Opening, or coming up to warrior one. Opening up to warrior two. And then coming into our triangle. Straightening our right leg. Leaning forward. Reaching as far forward towards the front side of the mat as we can before we tick-tock our arms. Bringing the back of our right hand onto our right shin, gazing up at our left thumb. Using the breath to twist open, really feeling that heart and opening in the chest. We're not locking out this knee joint, very much softness in the knees. Working every muscle in the body here to hold us up, feeling that core engaged. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. On your next inhale, top hand pulls you up. We're going to come into our 5-pointed star. Heels in, toes out, arms out by our sides. Taking our hands to our hips. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bringing our head down towards the mat. Hands coming to the mat. If you can get the top of your head to the mat and you can get your feet and hands in line, you may be ready to pop up and try a tripod headstand. I encourage you to do so if you feel safe about that. If not, if you're not quite there, you can always reach out, grab a hold of your heels, maybe your calves, your thighs, anywhere that's comfortable. Maybe your hands can get down to the mat. If it feels like it'll take forever for your head to get down to the mat, think about spinning these muscles in. The inner rotation of the thighs, building that strength, helps to get your head closer and closer to the mat. Tripods come on down, meeting in the straddle forward fold. Inhale, hands to our hips as we rise up to a half lift. Exhale it all out here. Inhale, rise. Let's take warrior two to the back of the room, pivoting that left foot out, left knee at that 90-degree bend, arms out to the side, gazing over that left middle finger. Let's take it to our triangle, straightening our left knee, reaching forward, tick-tocking those arms down, gazing up at the right thumb, soft bend in the knee joint, using the breath to open up the chest, hugging all the muscles in, skin to muscle to bone, belly button in, feeling that core engaged as you breathe and open. And now let's have that top hand pull you up, coming back to that 5-pointed star, toes in. Let's bring our heels in, toes out, sinking into our goddess squat. Holding here, belly button in, tailbone tucked. Let's rise up onto our right toe and bring that right heel down, lifting our left heel. And now let's lift both. Hold here for a second. And now dropping both heels. Let's inhale and rise. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale down. Let's lift that right heel. Left heel. Both heels. And release. Let's rise up. Take warrior 2 to the front of your mat. That right foot forward. And then we'll cartwheel our hands down to the back, going through our vinyasa. Leaning in our downward facing dog. From our downward facing dog, we'll take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Fill up. Empty. Let's roll out to our high plank just for a moment. Knees can come down if necessary. And then lowering all the way down to our bellies. Setting up for our locust pose. Toes together to touch at the back of your mat. If your low back is talking to you this morning, you can absolutely separate those toes about hips width distance. Arms down by your side, palms on the mat, chin on the mat. On your next inhale, lifting everything up off the mat. Your feet, your ankles, your shins, your knees, your thighs, lifting up, arms up, really lift. Make sure we're breathing, belly button into spine, spinning those thighs in towards each other, really lift. And then exhale, release, taking a cleansing breath in and a cleansing breath out. Locust number 2. On your next inhale, lift. Really lift those shoulders, belly button into spine. Don't hold your breath. Filling your lungs, exhaling, lifting, spinning those thighs in towards each other, squeezing the glutes. Really lift. And exhale, release. Cleansing breath in, cleansing breath out. One more belly down pose is going to be our floor bow. Bending your knees, reaching back, grabbing a hold of your toes right where your shoelace line is. If today you feel like only doing one at a time, that's fine because we're going to do 2 of these. So just pick one leg. And if you are doing one, let's reach that opposite hand out. So I'm holding onto my left foot and I've got my right arm out. Take a cleansing breath in, breath out. And on your next inhale, lift up into that beautiful teardrop shape, coming into the soft part of your bellies, toes lifting up, off and over your head, really reaching, and release down. Taking a breath in, breath out. Floor bow number 2, if you had a hold of one foot, grab a hold of the other one this time. Otherwise, reach back, grab a hold of your toes, and on your next inhale, lift up. Really lift and reach, pulling those toes higher and higher over your head. It's so nice to have the mirror in the studio where you can see if your toes are level. Feel that awareness in your body as you're lifting, and release. Letting it go. Windshield wiper your feet back and forth, releasing your low back. And now let's roll over onto our backs, setting up for our back bends, our bridge and or our wheel pose. If wheel is in your practice, feel free to go into wheel as much as you want. I'm going to cue bridge first, and then we'll talk about wheel. Also, if you would like and you have a block, you can always take this moment for a restorative bridge pose by taking this block directly under your sacrum. What I would suggest is laying on your back, lifting your hips to place the block, and then you can hang out right here in this bridge. You can also extend your legs long and feel that. For our regular bridge, we're going to bring our heels about hips width distance. Grounding through our heels, our arms down by our side. We're going to peel our hips up off the mat with our inhale. So inhale and lift, peeling those hips up off the mat. Maybe we are clasping our hands underneath us, coming up onto our shoulders to really help push our hips up high. Holding here, breathing in, breathing out, lifting higher and higher, and then releasing down. Continuing with that bridge, if wheel is in your practice, we can take it now by bringing our hands close to our ears, and on our inhale, grounding down to rise up. Lifting, whether you're in bridge or wheel, grounding down, really lifting those hips. Exhale down. One more, bridge or wheel. Last one, so let's make it our best one. I'll give us some options. On your next inhale, I'm going to come into wheel, bridge, wheel, restorative bridge. Just keep doing what you're doing. And inhale and lift. Maybe we want to lift a heel or two heels. Maybe we want to lift a leg. Maybe we can walk our hands closer. And now let's return back down, hugging our knees into our chest. Restorative bridgers, we can remove that block. Hug your knees into your chest. Let's take a Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of our feet together, knees splayed out, reclined butterfly. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, gently closing your eyes. And breathing in and out through your nose. All right, let's hug our knees into our chest. We're going to bring the right knee into our chest as we extend this left heel to the sky, and then slowly bring that left heel down to the mat. This right knee is going to hug in, up and around our rib cage, up into our armpit. The right foot is relaxed, left foot is flexed, hugging this knee in. And then our left hand is going to grab a hold of that right knee as we bring this right knee across the body for this spinal twist. Working on the spine flexibility to get the knee to the ground as well as the right shoulder staying on the ground. That may seem like a one-day, someday goal. Whatever you need to do to get the deepest out of this twist for you this morning, do that. Let's bring this knee back to center, hugging it in one more time. Send this right heel to the sky. Maybe we're clasping our hands behind our thigh, behind our calf. Maybe you're grabbing those peace fingers, those big toes, and reaching up and feeling that stretch all the way up the back of the leg. And now releasing, right heel down to the ground. Left knee in, hugging that left knee in, up and around the rib cage. Left foot is relaxed, right foot is flexed. Hugging this knee in. Taking a few breaths here, in and out through the nose. Right hand to left knee as we bring it across the body for this spinal twist on this side. Working on keeping both shoulders on the ground as we get that knee closer and closer to the ground. And let's return this knee back to center, setting this left heel up to the sky, clasping your hands maybe behind your thigh, behind your calf, reaching up and grabbing a hold of that toe. Whatever feels good to get this last little stretch up the back of the leg. And now releasing those toes, let's bring both knees into the chest just for a second, taking a happy laughing baby, opening up the hips one last time, pulling those knees down to the mat, working on getting your spine flat on the mat from tip to tail. Hug those knees in, and then extend your legs long, arms down by your side. Final resting pose, Shavasana. Taking this moment to relax and allow all of the benefits that we got from the poses we've just done to just flood your body here. Breathing in and breathing out. Taking 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, the rest of your day to relax in this pose and breathe. When you feel like getting up from your Shavasana today, hold it for 5 more breaths, 10 more breaths. Use this time for yourself. You deserve it. In yoga, we say, the light in me sees and recognizes the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.